So I'm running out of daylight and I'm getting scared. The bum hand. Today on In the Wood Yard, we've got a delivery to do, we've got some stacking to do, and we've got some processing to do. Here we go. So yesterday, Logger Al was here. You saw the video, you should have. When he was here, we processed 3 trailer loads full of wood yesterday. He's really getting the hang of it. He's getting really good with it, and I'm getting good at doing all the other stuff that needs to be done. So 2 guys is awesome. Now, I had one little problem yesterday. I rolled over a log to get it so that it would be on the trough better, and I smashed my pinky pretty bad, and it bled and it hurts. I could feel my heartbeat all night last night. So it's not good. So I am very right-handed. This is my right hand. I can't do hardly anything with my left hand. I can't, it's just terrible. I told my wife she's gonna have to wipe me or something because I can't use my right hand for almost anything now with this. So I'm gonna have to be very careful to pick up, you know, the wood just right so I'm not bumping this thing because it's very tender. And I've got a delivery to do, and then after that we're gonna do some stacking because I have wood in the trailer, and then I've got some other stacking, and I think I'm gonna run the processor for a little while. So I got lots to do today. The bum hand. Here we go. There it is. A load of wood is in. Mixed hardwood. There is a bunch of birch in here. There's ash, aspen, a little bit of cottonwood I saw. I saw some hackberry. There is a little bit of oak. What else did I say was in? Oh, I saw a few chunks of, right here's one, some cedar, which I don't know how it got in there. This is from a mixed pile. There's a few chunks of cedar, so I'll have to tell her that. Put that off to the side because that'll snap a little bit, but it'll smell great in the fire. There was maybe half a dozen pieces. Now the piles here that are just all tore apart, I have friends that come and get free wood occasionally, and this is where I tell them to get it from. I said, pick through all this. So they're gradually picking out the good stuff, and there's a lot of stuff in here that's a little punky, some stuff that was touching the ground that's wet, some stuff that's undersized, oversized, so it's a little bit of everything. So I kind of picked through this here to make the load because it wasn't all great wood. But then over here I told them don't touch the stack piles because this is a measured cord, but then I had a bunch of stuff I threw on here loose that I moved. But then there's a whole bunch of measured face cords in here, third cords, in these piles, as you can see. So like right here, everything going this way, it's face cords of mixed stuff going all through here. So that's what these piles are. And we're gonna go on the road, we're gonna go deliver this one. This will be the 3rd load that this lady's gotten this year. She does a lot of outdoor fire pit backyard partying, so here we go. Back in the wood yard for my delivery, and look what I found on the way back. Somebody had a whole pile of nice pallets by the end of their driveway. So I got 10 really good 48 by 40s, and I'm going to build a new cookie bin, or another cookie bin, and I think I'm going to build it right in this area. So I'm going to throw them right here. There's 10 real nice pallets here, and I need to get a big bin built, so I'm just going to kind of put them back in this area, and so one of these days, which could be tomorrow, could be the next day, I'm not sure, I'm going to build another cookie bin. So that's what these are going to be for, and I'm going to use these for the bottom, and I'm going to go to another place where I get pallets all the time that has really big pallets. like 6x8 footers or 5x8, 5x10s. They got some monsters. And that's what I'm going to use for the sides. This will be the bottoms. And I'm probably going to build it, I think 9 square on the bottom. And there's 10 pallets here, so I'll use almost all of these. And so yeah, my plan is to go 3x3 on the bottom and then build sides around it. That's what my real big cookie bin is over on the other side to the left of where you're seeing there. So there we go. That is done. Nice. So now I'm going to move the trailer over to where I'm going to do my stacking and get the wood stacked out of the trailer next so I can make some wood today. So got to keep moving. So I backed up the trailer, put it in place. I've got pallets all the way along here, so I'm gonna start stacking in the back and just work my way to the front with this load, and then I'll do additional loads as I get them. So what I have found, those of you that have been around a while, you've seen this. It works excellent to keep the wood in the trailer and stack it right out of the trailer. So I raise it up and get it so that I can just grab the chunks right out of the back and then stack and then pull ahead and just keep doing that. This is all maple that we cut yesterday, so that's what's going to be here. The trailer, when I've got it down all the way, the back gate is chest high on me, about the middle of my chest, but when I tip it all the way down, it's a little above my knees. So you can vary the height of the back gate a lot by raising it up like this and keeping the wood easy to access to grab in the back for stacking. So this just happens to be what works. And I don't go all the way right away. I usually go just so the wood starts coming to me. That's probably about as far as I need to go. And another thing you got to think about too is when you have your gate closed like I've got it right now, you don't want to leave a lot of space here so when that wood comes flying, it rams the gate and pushes on it, because I have heard stories of guys blowing out their back gates. My gate is really solid though, the way, I mean, it doesn't bow at all when I got all the wood on it. I'll bring you guys over here so you can see. The nice thing is that I don't have to bend over. That's the beauty of doing it this way, because the wood is right here. So when I started this, I should have showed you that, but my gate is right about up to here. It's about in the middle of my chest. So I've already dropped it a foot so far. So I can grab the wood right here. And as I go down lower and lower, eventually it ends up. So it's somewhere about in here. I go down about a whole nother foot. So I got about a 2-foot range with this back gate, which is really nice. So I'll be stacking the wood starting right here, and I'll just go this direction. And then I've got them all lined up all through here. So stacking's gonna happen right now. It's exciting. Look at that, there's wood stacked. That took about 1 hour and 5 minutes. And there's about a full cord here, give or take, because this load wasn't as big as some of the other ones. I didn't have it as heaped in the middle. And I picked through the debris that was in the trailer, and I pulled out this kindling stuff here that I'll be able to bundle up. And then there was these 5 or so rounds that didn't get split. And I left most of this stuff full size. I'm not going to resplit this. You can see size wise, there's a couple in here that are a little bit big, but it's maple. It's out in the sun every day, all day. It'll dry really fast, so I'm not worried about it. So I'm not going to do much for resplits on this stuff at all. It's nice size wood. It'll be fine. I have 5 or 6 months before I'm going to sell it anyway, and out here it dries real fast, so it'll be good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the trailer over and I'm going to park it in the area where the elevator drops the wood in, and I'm just going to leave this debris right in here. I'm not even going to take it out yet. I'm just going to leave it in. It's not that much, and I will just fill the trailer back up. I'm going to process some wood, and then I will have all the debris from a couple loads in here, and then I'm going to stack that one later today too if I have time. So that's what's going to happen. We're going to go do some wood processing. Surprisingly, you're pretty heavy with that sawdust. Yeah. Because when they're up against your full, I had everything I could do just to wiggle them out of the way. So this is Bert. He's been here before working on the processor. He came with his dad and he got a hold of me and said, hey, we have chickens. We need sawdust. So he came and even brought his pallet forks. We loaded up 2 of the totes. He's going to take them and we're going to do a trade, which is always a good deal for everybody. Keep the government out of our pockets.
Anything to keep extra money.
Anything, yeah. But I'm glad it's going to go to somewhere it's going to be used. And he said he would trade for labor, so we'll get him someday.
Oh yeah, I'm always willing to help.
So yeah, so that's great. I'm glad it's going to go and be of use. And I got another person that came and got a bunch of sawdust already. We bagged up 6 big bags, and I've got another person that wants them for their chickens, and my brother wants a bunch for his vegetable garden for putting around all of his plants. So I told him, I said I'd bring him a tote full. So in yesterday's video, you were here because you're supposed to be here, and Al and I processed 3 loads of wood into the trailer, which equals, there's about 4 face cords per load, give or take. So we did about 12 face cords, which is about 4 full cords is probably what we ended up with. And so we ran, I wouldn't say all day. I don't think we started till after 10 and we quit around 4 or something like that. And we did some gabbing in between. Then we took an hour-long lunch, so we didn't work all that hard. I mean, we worked, but it wasn't like we just, you know, were wide open all day long. And the tractor was full of fuel when I started, and I just put in fuel into the tractor, filled it up, and it took about a half one of these. So a couple gallons is what I used yesterday for the tractor, going back and forth and moving stuff and using the bucket to scrape up all kinds of stuff that I hauled away. And then I filled up the rest of what was in the container, so about 7 gallons went into the processor, and that filled it back up to where it was. So altogether yesterday I went through about 10 gallons of fuel, so about $50 or 55, something like that. I think it's, right now fuel is $5.30 something a gallon, something like that. I don't know, it still sounds like a lot, even though a lot of you from Canada or across the pond over there in Europe are paying anywhere from 8 to, I've seen as high as $11 a gallon, which is insane. I don't know how you guys can get anything done at that price. That's just ridiculous. So on the tractor and the processor combined, I went through about 10 gallons yesterday, and that was to produce about 4 full cords. So say I'm using somewhere in the neighborhood of probably $12 to $15 per full cord, and that's all in, plus bar oil. But it doesn't use as much bar oil as you would think. It's not that bad. So that's basic, because people have been asking me, you know, how much fuel am I going through? Is it how does it equal out? How does it compare? Well, the way it compares the most is at the end of the day, I'm not tired. My back doesn't hurt, my arms aren't sore, my hands don't hurt. I have energy at the end of the day. When I'm cutting with a saw and then moving rounds and then splitting all day long, if I was to do that volume, my body would take the toll. So basically the machine is saving me. And as I get faster, as I get more help, as I figure out the steps of the process, as we're working on, you know, eliminating steps here, you know, there's a lot of little things I can do to eliminate some of the steps I'm doing, and a lot of you are giving me suggestions, and that's fine and everything, but obviously I'm the one doing the work, so I have to kind of decide what's going to be best for me. Some people ask me, well, why am I staging the logs up here? Because that's less time running back and forth, and I can just quick throw them up there real quick right here. I don't have to go over there and then bring them up here. So bringing up a whole bunch right here pre-staging saves me a whole bunch of time. Yes, I have to handle them twice, but the nice thing is when I've got them in a pile, like you see right here, I'm able to grab a single log and set it up there. And some guys were telling me, oh, you should set up 4, 5, 6 logs at a time. You can grab them. No, you can't. You do not want any extra logs on top of logs. Like that one up there is going to be a problem. You have to have a single row only, because if you have a stacked pile, if there's 2 or 3 on top, when it goes to dump it into the trough, you get 2 logs. You do not want 2 logs in there. You want 1 at a time. Another thing a lot of people are saying, well, oh, I should buy bigger logs. I should buy, you know, the long poles or the full trees. That's not how it works here in the Midwest. In the Midwest, because of the paper industry, 100 inches is standard. That's what you're going to get. I could get 16 footers, but I'd pay a lot more money for 16 footers, and I would have a much harder time getting them. Most of those are going to specialty mills, and they get more dollars for them. So this is what is standard, 100 inches. So you're going to get 6 rounds, and then you get a cookie on the end most of the time. Sometimes you don't get a cookie, sometimes we just run it through and let it go. So that's the size that I'm getting. Another guy asked, why don't I load up both sides of the deck? You can't, because you've got 3 strands right here, and then the 4th one down on the end is another like 7 feet away, and it's possible that I could, but this is just easier this way, because you have to watch to make sure you're only getting 1 log off of each strand at a time coming in. And the problem is you get one in, and then you got to try to get another one in. What happens is you're going to get a log from this side and that side, and then you try to get the other side to go in, and you're going to drop another log from this side. So 1 at a time is the way to go, at least for me, until I get better at it. So that's pretty much everything I know. Now it's time to make some wood. Well, folks, I think my stacking for today is done. Got a bunch of debris. I know I got some pieces in here to sort through. I already threw a few pieces of kindling in there, but there's more in there I'm going to dig through. But I've got a full cord there, and then if you take these end pieces and put on there, probably another full cord. So I did 2 full cords today as far as stacking. And it's getting dark out fast now. It probably doesn't look like it to you, but the sun set a good half hour ago and all the lights are coming on over there. So I'm running out of daylight and I'm getting scared. I think it's time for me to go home. That's it for today, folks. Tomorrow I'll be back in the woodyard doing work. You're coming back too. 5:30 a.m. I'll be here. You should be here between now and then. Go to my channel. There's 700 videos, 750 or more just for you. Go watch them. Good night, Irene.